Good afternoon, St. Joseph School families. Well, it's a very busy season here at St. Joseph's, and in particular, it's interview season. And job interviews for teacher candidates usually take up a lot of my month of April, sometimes May and into the summer as well too, sometimes a little earlier like February and March, but I've had a lot of interviews lately. And it kind of begs the question, when you interview a teacher, what are you looking for? What things stand out in an interview? And it really, to me, comes down to three things. First of all, how well do they fit the mission of our school? Now, St. Joseph's Catholic School forms joyful disciples of Jesus Christ who pursue academic excellence and cultivate a life of virtue. I want somebody that lives that mission. I want somebody that loves that mission and is excited about being a part of that in our school. So what things do I look for? Are they a witness of their faith currently with what they're doing? Do they do things to take care of their faith so that they can shine before other people? Additionally, how well do they like to study and read themselves and kind of seek their own academics? How well do they seem to be a person of virtue? Again, sometimes it can be really hard to judge in a quick interview, but we want somebody that loves and embraces our school's mission. Secondly, what are their teaching skills? And sometimes it's hard to discern, but I like to ask very, very specific questions, usually related to the job that I'm interviewing for. So, what things are you looking for? How well can somebody manage a classroom? What's their technical expertise with understanding different needs of kids and how kids are different based on their age? How good are their communication skills? How well do they relate with young people? How well do they relate with adults and parents? All of these are things that we look at, but we try to really hone in on what are the technical skills needed in that position and how well does that candidate bring this to the table. And then the third thing I would say is, how relatable are they? How well can they build a relationship in maybe that 40 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour that you have with them? And interviews can be kind of stressful and it's a kind of a first impression situation. But I always think, whatever my first impression is with that person will probably be what their coworkers' first impression might be like, or what parents or students have as a first impression. So even in that stressful environment, you kind of learn a lot about how that hour goes. How relatable are they? How humble are they when speaking to you? And also, did you leave that interview totally excited for meeting them? Did you leave that interview kind of drained and exhausted? All of these are things that I think about because ultimately, one of my most important jobs is to make sure that teachers that we bring into our school fit our mission, love our students, and are successful and happy here themselves. So, a lot going on with that right now. It's a good time here, and it's a very exciting time here at school. I wish everybody a really happy Easter. Have a blessed break. And we'll see you again next Tuesday. Thank you.